Tonight on That's Dark.
Where the heart of America hides more than just history, Decatur, Illinois may look like a typical small town, but its past is steeped in darkness, whispers of tragedy, tales of madness, and spirits that refuse to fade. Dare you come along with me?
Hello, hello.
Hey. Yeah, welcome back, everybody. It's Alyssa.
And Heather.
And we're back with another spooky. I don't know why I keep doing like a weird southern accent.
Spooky.
It's spooky season, finally.
I love it.
Yes.
I'm so happy.
It's like literally in 4 days will be literal fall. I'm pretty sure the 21st
Holy
is like
shit,
actually-
it is!
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Finally. Also, isn't it crazy that both you and I, even though our birthdays are in December, they're technically fall?
Oh, fuck, you are.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you are.
You are. Oh, fuck, you are. We technically are fall babies.
We are fall babies.
Which makes sense, because I feel like we like fall more.
Oh,
I love winter.
I love winter.
But
I love
fall.
Yeah, fall is just gets me all like
So perfect.
cozy
Yes.
and- yeah.
October is my favorite time of the year.
I was so cold yesterday. I'm like literally so close to starting my period, but I was like doing the colds, the colds were just like, and so I was like on the couch and I have this new blanket I got from a place called Home Sense, which is Home Goods on steroids. It's like from Home Goods, but they're like on steroids. But it's just like, you'll have to see it.
Where is this?
It's in Fort Lauderdale. Yes.
Ooh.
It's amazing.
Okay.
And I got this blanket. It's a Halloween blanket, but it's so stretchy. It's like, the best pair of cozy socks you put on?
Yes.
That's what this whole blanket's made out
God.
of. But not the fleece. It's like I can't explain it. Anyway, super warm, super soft, has black cats and pumpkins on it. I'm in love. I had it I was watching a movie and I was just so cuddled in my couch and it was the best feeling.
That is so awesome. I need to go there. That sounds like somewhere I would like.
No, you would.
I already told you this, but the other day I have this scale and it tells you like your bone mass, your BMI, like all this stuff, like your weight, but also like it tells you like your metabolic age, all that kind of shit. So the last time I used that part of the scale was in 2022. And I literally got on the scale the other day and it said, "Is this you?" I died. I was like, oh no. So I'm working on that. That's something I'm working on. Because it was literally 60 pounds I have put on since 2022. 60.
But was that...
Do you know what my metabolic
like,
age is? No, that was not when I was unhealthy.
Do you think it actually can tell your metabolic...
Yes. I think because it measures your visceral fat, and that's like fat around your organs, and you don't want that.
How does it know your visceral fat?
I don't know.
Exactly. It's literally not. No.
Also...
No, I'm going to stop you.
I definitely know, just based on how I feel. I do not feel good.
I'm totally on board with you being active and getting yourself together. That's not the issue.
Also...
But what's your metabolic age? You didn't tell me.
34. I'm not even 30 yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's not, but that's okay.
And I'm like...
Get healthy.
There's
but I don't
problem
do that shit.
Also, remember how diagnosing myself, how I always think like, and it's very possible I could have an autoimmune disorder, honestly, with how I feel. But then I'm like, wait a minute. When I started gaining the weight is when I started feeling like this. So I'm like, is it because I've just gained a lot of weight and have not been active? And now I'm just used to feeling like shit, Like, it's ironic that after I stopped working out all the time, and not when I was, like, unhealthily working out.
I was going to ask.
This, because that was, like, 2018, 2019. Okay. So 2020 to 2022 was, like, normal
workout.
Normal
like
workout.
Good
walking, and then I stopped all of it. And then I started feeling bad. Surprise, surprise. So
surprise.
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 Oh my God, I can't stop listening to Chapel Roan.
I fucking love her.
I'm obsessed.
with her. Oh, I would try to go to that store in downtown Melbourne to get Pink Pony Club boots, and they were $850, so I had to leave.
No.
But I wanted them so bad. I want Pink Pony Club boots so bad.
I'm obsessed.
Oh, she's amazing.
Obsessed.
She's amazing. You're on that train a little late, but she's amazing.
Dude, obsessed.
I know.
I mean, I've been obsessed for a while.
Pretty sure I've sent you some of her songs. Just tell me you've not listened to them.
Oh, I've listened to all of them.
No, before.
I've listened to all.
Oh, I know. And repeat.
Yes.
That's what I do.
Yes. I can't. When you wake up next to him in the middle of the night with your head in your hand and there's nothing more than his wife. And when you think about me all of those years ago, you're face to face with I told you so. Face to face with I told you so. You kiss the I'm literally obsessed with it. I'm like, I'm not even LGBTQ plus, but I love this woman.
Naked in Manhattan is one of my favorites.
Okay, I haven't heard that one.
Okay, listen to it. Okay. Naked in Manhattan. Okay, first of all, the one you're singing, I go hard at the gym on that. I'm like,
dude,
because I told you so.
Obsessed.
Hate to say.
I sing that like I have been in her position, and I never have, but I'm like, yes, girl.
I know.
You tell her.
It's the best.
Oh my God. And when she's like performing and she's like, this is a message for my ex's fiance. You should break up.
And her drag queen,
yes.
I'm just like, girl,
I'm obsessed with her.
She's fabulous. Casual too. Casual. Knee deep in the passenger seat and you're eating me out. Is it casual now?
Yep. Yeah. I love it.
I love
her.
Also,
guess what I found out about her? She is the same as me. She's demisexual. Demisexual is when you can only sleep with someone that you have like feelings for.
Okay, I didn't know that.
And I was like, you're like, what? Finally, like someone who, and she said like Chappell Roan is like this whole persona. She's not like sexually outward, but like she acts like she is because like that's who she'd like to be, but she has to have feelings. And I feel it so hard because it's like sometimes you'd like to be able to be that way and you just can't.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
she actually keeps it separate. She would like to keep everything separate. Yes. Like she came out recently being like, hey, when I'm not when I'm not her, like dressed up, please don't approach me.
Yes.
And people are like, why is she being so mean? I'm like, I personally think it's amazing she's putting boundaries.
I love it. I think it's so
I need her music to keep happening.
Yes.
So let's keep her happy and healthy, everybody.
Dude, and the way she looks at it, she's like, it's a job. Exactly. It's a job. Like, I'm not going to do it forever. Like, this is how I pay my bills. Yes. I'm having fun. Like, it's amazing. But, like, I was dying at her interview, though, where she was, like, talking about, because she's been famous for, like, she's like, I've been famous for, like, a month. And she's like, oh, this is not how it's going to go, girl.
No, I know.
She, like, told everyone.
But it's like, I just want to tell everybody that is a fan of her, like, leave her be, because I personally need to keep this girl happy and healthy so we can continue having her music.
Yes.
Period.
Yes.
Period. She's amazing.
And her telling the photographer to fuck himself.
Oh, it was the best thing ever.
You shut the fuck up.
You shut the fuck up.
Not me, bitch.
Yeah.
I died. I was like, yes.
Her, Sabrina Carpenter.
Yep.
I love Sabrina. Here for it. Mm-hmm. What's the other one that I listened to? She's on the same whole thing as them. I can't think of her name, but she's so good.
Olivia Rodrigo.
Yes.
I fucking love Olivia Rodrigo.
Love her.
And this is coming from, I listen to screamy music.
Screamy.
All day. Like, just screamo is like my emo shit is what I listen to. I can't get enough of Chappell Roan. I'm just like obsessed.
Oh, she's the best. She's like literally the best. So
like what happened? Something happened in the universe that she has made everybody obsessed with her, I feel like.
That's why she's having to be like, back off.
Like, leave me alone. Stop.
No.
But it is weird. She's like, why would you treat like a normal person like this? No,
because she's created a following. You know what I'm saying? And it went fast. And that's got to be so fucking overwhelming. Like,
I would not handle it well.
No. And I mean, she's been performing for years. Yeah. And it just.
Yeah. She was saying that her and Sabrina have been both doing this for like a decade.
Yeah.
And like they both kind of just came up at like the same time.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Sabrina's amazing too. I love Sabrina. Yeah.
I just love how like forward she is.
Yeah.
And even when I love also her resting bitch face. It's the best thing ever.
Yes.
You should watch. It's called Chicken Date. I love it. It's this British girl and she has all these stars on and they go to this chicken place and she has a date with them, but they like basically have an interview.
Is this the girl in like that tan outfit?
Yes.
Okay.
When she's doing when she's singing
and Sabrina's like,
back there like, but like they're just literally the best. It's the best. You should watch hers and hers with Billie Eilish.
Oh my God.
The best.
That's so funny.
Watch it. I was thinking she was stupid. She's hilarious as hell.
Oh my God.
So,
I'll have to see it. Yeah. I love Sabrina. I think she's cool.
I love her. Yeah.
I love how they were like, she's kind of like the, like, you can't get straighter than Sabrina Carpenter. And
I know.
like,
Chapel's like,
Chapel's
can't get
like,
gayer.
Yeah.
Then Chapel Roan. Yeah, that's exactly right.
All right.
Okay. So I guess we should start. So enough chit chat. So we are continuing today with some more spoopy. My TikTok is Spoopy Scoops. Spoopy. And when we were, just one more quick thing I have to say. When we were at the mall in Fort Lauderdale, they had Spoopy Tarot and I almost got it.
No fucking way.
And I was like, this is Spoopy. And it was all ghosties and stuff. And I was like, oh.
You're like, this is for me.
I don't even know why I didn't get it. I'm mad at myself.
I can't believe you didn't.
I know.
That was for
I'm
you.
mad at myself. Mad.
Wow.
But besides that, spoopy. That's all I have to say. No. So we're going to talk about Decatur, Illinois. And if some of you haven't ever heard of Decatur, Illinois, it is in the middle of Illinois, in the middle of cornfields. Of the Illinois, in the middle of cornfields. It has a factory there that makes it smell like wet dog food. Wet dog? Sometimes.
Food or wet dog?
No, wet dog.
Oh.
Burnt wet dog. Burnt wet dog. I was trying to think of the smell that makes it smell. I've actually been there. And I've also been to the Greenwood Cemetery. And I've actually told a story from the Greenwood Cemetery before when I used to do insurance. Because at one point in time, for a very small point in time, I lived in Illinois. Very small point in time because I don't want to live there.
No, thank you.
So, a lot of creepy stuff. And let's get into it.
Okay,
so,
let's do it. Let's
talk about Decatur, Illinois. Is a city. That's all you need to know.
Okay.
End of story. No, I was kidding. It's with
what a great episode.
It has a rich and tragic history that has contributed to its reputation as one of the most haunted places in the Midwest. I actually had to look this up, and it is considered one of the most haunted places in the Midwest.
Did Liz grow up near here? Or
yeah, she was probably like an hour away.
Okay.
Its story begins in 1829 when the town was founded by war hero Stephen Decatur, after whom it was named. Located along the Sangamon River, Decatur became an important center of agriculture and industry thanks to its proximity to the Illinois Central Railroad. Over the years, it grew into a bustling industrial city, but with this growth came a series of events that would be forever tied to its darker, more tragic history. So, the Winter of the Deep Snow. This happened in 1830 to 1831. One of the most devastating early events in Decatur's history was the infamous blizzard of 1830. And it went until 1831.
Oh my God.
Yes. Often referred to as the Winter of the Deep Snow, this catastrophic snowstorm swept across the Midwest, blanketing much of Illinois, including Decatur, under several feet of snow. The storm was so intense that settlers were trapped in their homes, cut off from supplies, and unable to travel or hunt for food. The deep snow and freezing conditions led to famine and famine, hardship, particularly for the Native American populations and the early pioneer families. In Decatur's, many settlers succumbed to the harsh conditions, and their tragic deaths are said to be one of the early contributors to the town's haunted reputations. Those who survived recall the blizzard as one time of suffering and loss, with the snow leaving the landscape eerily quiet, and still a quiet that some claim persists in the city's haunted corners today. So, the other thing that happened during this, as you heard, people would pass away. Mm-hmm. A lot of the settlers would turn to eating their dead.
No.
There is lots of reports of them eating they're dead because they could not get to food and they were going to die as well. Oh my God.
I mean, I guess like when you think of it, like, what are you going to do? Like when it comes down to it.
What a mark that leaves though. Not only are you eating somebody else, you're eating someone that you loved.
Yeah.
Or you were as a family.
Could you do that, do you think?
I mean, if I got desperate enough, I feel like it's like if they're already dead, I feel like I would.
It's not like they're killing them specifically.
I would cry a lot, and it would be really damaging.
Just as you're eating, like I hate this.
I'm eating a leg. I'm like,
this was Bob.
Oh, Bob. You were such a good husband.
I literally can't imagine. Like, I don't know what I would do. I really don't. Like, that's got to be the worst.
Yeah. So this devastated it. That was one of the first things that like shaped Decatur, and it is everywhere. You can hear about the cannibalism. I say cannibalism because it was like forced, but because of the fact that they had to.
Do you think there's anybody from that time period that continued on with cannibalism? Because
I heard sometimes that if you do that, just like mad cow disease, it can turn you crazy, and then you crave it and you want it. And I wonder. So the second thing, though, is the industrial boom and tragedies. As Decatur developed throughout the 19th century, it became a significant hub for grain processing and manufacturing, with large companies like A.E. Staley and Caterpillar settling up operations. The city's growth was largely due to its location along important railroad lines, which we said earlier, which made it a crucial point for transporting goods. However, this industrial boom came at a cost. With the rise of the industry came a series of tragic events. Factories and railroads were inherently dangerous places to work, and many workers were injured or killed on the job. Train accidents were common, and workers in the grain mills and factories faced hazardous conditions, often leading to fatal mishaps. These industrial deaths contributed to the city's reputation for, again, having a very dark and haunted past because they had so many. Some believe that the spirits of those who perished in these accidents still linger in the area, unable to rest because of the sudden and violent nature of these deaths. There are so many accounts. I was going to put some accounts in here of like factory deaths from when the town started and like industrial, like
you're like, this would be a 3-hour
it would
podcast.
Be so long. I was like, holy shit. And the number of people killed by trains, y'all, the number of people killed by trains from the start,
that's nuts,
is insane. You think that now it's insane because they didn't obviously have lights and things telling them, hey, a train's coming. It's insane.
Oh my freaking God.
Yeah.
Do you think, because this was like Native American grounds, do you think that it was cursed or
I think
something?
So. I tell you, I've been in this town. It is a feeling through the whole town. Like, I feel like if you ever visited there, you'd be like,
this is not right.
This is not right. It is a feeling through the whole. I have never felt right in that town. Not once have I felt right in that town.
Crazy.
Yeah. So let's talk about one of the most, like, hub. It's got a hub.
Okay.
And you got to think like, oh, yeah. But, you know, typically we can talk about that. Greenwood Cemetery.
Oh, boy.
This is literally located in the heart of Decatur. So Decatur's in the middle of Illinois. Mm-hmm. Here's Greenwood in the middle of Decatur. I have been in Greenwood. Fucking A. It is the spookiest, weirdest, most haunted place I've ever been. Like, hands down. Like, and I don't think that cemeteries are always just super haunted. I feel like it's where people are leaving, or, you know, but I don't feel like it's like haunted. This place,
haunted.
Haunted.
I feel like most of the time they feel peaceful.
Yeah, this place is not. It's a hotbed for ghostly activity, legends of spirits, strange phenomenon, and eerie encounters have made it one of the most infamous haunted cemeteries in the Midwest. Again, there's books by Troy Taylor. So many books. He's phenomenal. He wrote Haunted Midwest, Haunted Decatur, Haunted Illinois. He's so cool. I read it. That's what I read. Yeah, like, he's amazing. So
I feel like Decatur even sounds like just not a good place to be.
Yeah, like run away.
Yeah.
And today we're going to talk about some of the most infamous hauntings and ghost stories tied to this burial ground. Okay. Mm-hmm. So Greenwood Cemetery was established in 1857, so approximately 30 years after the start of town. And it's one of the oldest cemeteries in Decatur. It is the oldest, not one of. Okay. It's filled with history, Civil War soldiers, Early pioneers and prominent Decatur families are buried here, but Greenwood's reputation goes beyond its historical significance. For decades, people have reported ghostly sightings and supernatural experiences within its grounds. The cemetery is situated on a hillside with over 2,000 graves spread across the area. The air is thick, and I can contest this, and the weight of history, and for many visitors, it feels like you're never alone, and it's 100% true. And even when no one else is around, you still feel like
something's not right.
Yeah. Maybe that's because, in some sense, you aren't. Today, we're going to dive in. I already said that from the famous ghost people. So first one, we got the Greenwood Bride.
Ooh.
Yeah. And I'm going to add to her because I know something else about her. One of the most well-known spirits of Greenwood Cemetery is the ghost of the Greenwood Bride. According to legend, a young woman who has set to be married in the early 1900s, she died tragically before the wedding. Some say in a carriage accident on her way to the ceremony. Heartbroken, her fiancé buried her in her wedding dress at Greenwood. Since her burial, multiple visitors have claimed to see a ghostly bride wandering the grounds dressed in white. They say she glides between the tombstones as if searching for something or someone. Some witnesses have reported hearing the faint echo of wedding bells in the distance, even though no weddings take place there. Perhaps she's still looking for her beloved, or maybe she's reliving her wedding day. I did find an old newspaper of a carriage accident in the 1900s that killed a woman. It did not say on her wedding day. And that could just be, whatever, but it was only one, and it was in the early, I can't remember, it was like I want to say it was like 1902.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And she was killed. I think that's interesting. Now, something they didn't mention when I was looking this up, well, I mean, they did mention it, but that she's also seen on these stairs. So there's a set of stairs. And if you come at a certain time during the day, which a lot of people try to debunk and say, oh, well, that's just like the sun messing with your eyes. She'll be sitting there weeping on the stairs. Like there's a set of green stairs by this grave that's supposedly her grave. And she's just weeping. But then others have absolutely reported seeing her drift through there. I went by those stairs. I did not feel like, and it was getting to be dusk. I did not want to walk up those stairs. I did not see her, but I felt a complete energy there. So I know something's there, whether it's the Greenwood Bride, whatever. There is something that goes to those stairs, because when we were around there earlier, I felt nothing. And then as I'm over there at dusk, because I purposely went, and this again is before I was like completely tapped in. We went there, I felt such a sadness.
Also, I don't think the sunlight will make it look like there's a weeping woman.
No.
I don't think I've ever seen that with the light.
But that's what people try to say. They're like, well, you're going there at dusk for a reason. Blah, 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 blah.
I've just never in my life been like, oh, that sunlight looks a lot like a weeping woman.
Oh, that's sunlight. That's so funny because it ties into my one story. But I want to just say that people are like, well, why at a certain time of day? That could be a stamp of when something tragic happened to her. It could be when she saw her family there at the cemetery, or she just literally could be lost. It could be residual.
Right.
Playing over and over, because especially if it was tragic.
Yeah.
They don't really always understand when it's tragic, that they're gone. So I don't know. That's one of the most
crazy.
famous. She's told everywhere. She's very, in Decatur. I wouldn't say everywhere. So the next is Soldiers Hill. And this one gives me, I don't even like going on Soldiers Hill. No, I don't. I don't like going over there. It makes my goosebumps and it's so, I don't know what it is. Near the back of Greenwood Cemetery is a section known as Soldiers Hill. This area is dedicated to the soldiers who fought in the Civil War. Many of these men died far from home, and their bodies were brought back here to lay to rest. Visitors to Soldier Hill often report feeling an overwhelming sense of sadness. Some say they've heard faint whispers, as if the soldiers are still trying to communicate with them. Some feel like they've heard their final words, which I wish I could have got an account as to what they were hearing that would make them final. Okay. Then there are even reports of full-bodied apparitions of soldiers. There are so many reports of these. Standing at attention or slowly walking amongst the graves. There's one story, though, that stood out to me, and I just thought it was interesting. So an encounter with a shadowy figure. So this woman was out there. A local woman claimed she was walking her dog And so I guess you can literally walk in cemetery, but you can also walk on either side of the cemetery.
Okay.
So, and there's chain link thick. So you can easily see, I know exactly where she's talking. You can see up right at Soldier. And it's right there. It's not like this massive hill. It's just like a slope.
Okay.
It's at the top. So you can see it. So this isn't like something that she would have to be like.
Yeah.
It would be
you would know what that is.
Yes, absolutely. She was walking her dog near Soldiers Hill late one evening when she saw a man in Civil War attire standing near one of the graves. Thinking it was some kind of historical reenactor, she approached him. But before she could reach him, the figure just vanished into thin air, leaving her alone with only herself and her dog in the cemetery.
No.
I want to tell you, again, remember how I was doing that surveying and the chain link fix, and I saw a man just standing. He wasn't in Civil War, but he was just standing there. And then I literally watched him just disappear in front of my eyes.
And you're like, that didn't.
I said it was a sun.
That's
what made me laugh. I was like, oh.
It's just a sunlight.
It's just a guy that works there. It's a sun. Yeah. I remember specifically he had a button-up shirt. He was balding, and he was just standing there staring at me. And I was like, and then he went and was gone.
The typical sun. That's what it does.
Yeah, he just walked away and I couldn't tell the sun was out.
Right. Yeah. I get that. Happens all the time.
Yeah. But there's actually been quite a few reports of soldiers. And I always, interesting because I think that they are so often attached. Civil War especially, I think, because it was a really bloody, brutal,
very prominent.
A lot of guys didn't want to be out there, you know? And then they were taken so brutally that it's like...
Could you imagine?
No. I don't want to. Those ways I like being a lady.
Yeah, but nowadays we would be dragged into it too.
I wouldn't anymore.
No, you wouldn't. I guess I wouldn't either.
No, you're good too. You're safe.
I'll be 30 this
year. I'll be like, I have boobies. No, I'm just kidding. I'm hormonal. Leave me alone. And then we have the infamous Devil's Chair.
Ooh.
Yes.
Oh, that's there? I've heard of that.
It has one there. Who moved?
Wait, are there multiple ones?
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay.
Perhaps the most famous and most sinister story associated with Greenwood Cemetery involves what's known as the Devil's Chair. The old stone chair sits on a small hill near a cluster of graves and has been the source of chilling local lore for over a century. Legend has it that anyone who dares to sit in the chair at midnight will be cursed. Some say the devil himself visits the chair, and those brave or foolish enough to sit in it will hear whispers urging them to stay seated, or even feel icy hands pressed down on their shoulders. Worse still are tales of people who sat in the chair and then met an untimely death shortly after. The origin of the chair's legends are unclear, but its chilling reputation is enough to keep most visitors at a distance. For those who have dared to test the myth, the stories of their experiences range from eerie sensations to car accidents to hospital stays to straight up terror. Yeah. They're also the matter of the mysterious glow.
Oh.
Witnesses have reported seeing a strange red light flickering around the chair on certain nights. Is it just a trick of the eye or something else? But people have seen it goes flickering around the chair, in the seat, up through the back of the chair. Like they see this, and it's at night. It comes, this red light.
You know what I think that is?
Huh?
I think that's the moon.
Yeah.
Sometimes when it sees a chair, especially.
It's the moon.
It does
Stone
that.
chair.
Yeah.
Stone chair.
It has to be a chair.
It needs it.
Yes.
It's like, oh.
It happens.
I got to put my light on it.
I've seen that a lot, actually.
Yeah. Red light flickering.
Yep.
Totally the moon.
Totally normal.
Absolutely.
Nothing supernatural.
So I've seen the Devil's Chair when I was there. And here's the thing that is interesting. The Devil's Chair disappears. Mm-hmm. It's stone. It's a stone chair. Yeah. Yeah. It disappears and it comes back.
I love how it took me a minute to register. Yeah. I'm like, yeah. Oh, wait, what?
It moves. A very heavy stone chair.
Okay.
It moves all around the cemetery. It disappears completely for a while.
Oh.
And then it just comes back. Whether that's kids taking it, I don't know how. It is literally a thick ass stone chair. It looks like wood, but it's stone. It disappears. I was there. When I was there once, we were walking. Liz took me where she said it should be. It was not. We were walking in another part, and it was there. And what did I want to do? I wanted to sit in it so bad.
Of course you did.
And Liz said, "Don't you fucking dare." I was like, "Let me sit in it." She was like, "No, you may not sit in it." I didn't sit in it, but I wanted to because that's how I am. So
you can go to one. We have one in Florida. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, you do. I think you do.
It's in that place, that really small.
The one that Dakota was talking about, right?
It's in the place that you wanted to go to. We tried to go before, but you had to be like 21 or something to go, so Katie wasn't going to be allowed to go. It was
the
oh my god,
Casadega.
Yes, Casadega. I'm pretty sure there's a devil's chair there. I haven't seen it. I think there is.
Well, I started reading about the devil's chair, and there's not a ton of them, but there is places around America that will have this same type of chair.
Okay.
That they say just shows up. Yeah.
Okay.
And they all have the same lore. It shows up, it moves, it disappears, it comes back. Don't fucking sit in it. That's like...
Are you going to sit in it when you see one? Yeah.
I want to. Yeah. I want to dance with the devil.
Oh. I feel like you'll just fight him.
That's what I mean by dance with him. I don't mean like actually dance with him. I mean, I'm going to fight him. If the devil's even real. No, I'll probably actually like him. I'll be like, you're cool. You're cool.
I feel like he's got a lot more to do if he's real.
Yeah.
You know, than to go around to various chairs.
I feel like America. If that whole story is real, that's going to cause a lot of controversy. So I'll just shut up now. I'm not going to go there because we'll be like having a lot of hate. So yeah, I'll shut up. All right. So enough of the devil's chair. I do want to visit that devil's chair though. One of Greenwood's lesser known but equally eerie ghost stories is that of a large black dog. Some believe it may be tied to the legend of the devil's chair, while others say it's a completely separate spirit. Visitors have reported seeing this ghostly dog prowling in the cemetery, its eyes glowing in the dark. Unlike a normal animal, the dog is said to appear out of nowhere and disappear just as suddenly. A few people have claimed that they have heard the growling before catching a glimpse of its shadowy form lurking near the tombstones. Despite its frightening appearance, the dog never seems to harm anyone. However, those who have encountered it say they felt a deep sense of unease, as if the animal were warning them to leave the cemetery. I do wonder, only because of the Native American thing. Here we are with a black dog again.
I was going to say, I wonder if this has any tie to the Panthers.
Yeah.
Something similar.
Black again.
Yep.
And it hasn't hurt anybody, but it's like growling, being like, it's like you need to get out of here.
Yeah.
You know, which I believe that I would not, you know me, obviously I was going to go sit in the devil's chair. I do not want to be at the cemetery after dark.
Oh, I don't blame you.
I don't
think I would.
I didn't even like being there at dusk. I was like, and it's not even like, look, I know ghosts show up in the daytime. I've seen them. I know they can show up anytime. But there's something else there. Something so much more sinister. And I don't want to dance with it.
Do you think
dance? Why the fuck do you?
I know what you mean. Do you think that there are like Indian burial grounds there as well, like at the actual cemetery, and that probably plays into it?
Absolutely. When I heard the black dog, I was like, interesting.
Oh my god, I think I know what I might cover for the next topic. I believe it's I-4, I believe. There's a stretch of I-4 in Orlando. That is, I think it's I-4. I'm going to have to double check. It is the most car accidents like in the world.
It is I-4.
Sure.
I know. It's I-4.
And that's where there was an Indian burial ground. So I think I might dive into that.
You should.
For the next one and see. Because I mean, it's pretty crazy. Like,
see my cut.
Oh my god, dude. That looks painful.
Yeah.
Whew. She cut her finger the other day and it looks not good.
Yeah, it's not good. I cut it on. I was cutting cheese.
You cut the cheese.
Cut the cheese and it cut my thumb.
All right,
so next we're going to cover the crying baby.
Oh.
Finally, we can't talk about Greenwood Cemetery without mentioning one of the most disturbing phenomena, the sound of a crying baby. The source of the cries remains a mystery, though some speculate it could be tied to a nearby grave where a child was buried. Several visitors have heard the cries late at night echoing through the cemetery. At times, the sound is so heart-wrenching that it compels people to search for the source, but no baby or living person is ever found. The sobs seem to float on the wind, fading and intensifying, as if the ghostly child is forever lost and searching for comfort. Is this a spirit of a baby? A lot of people don't know because they've never found it. But this is another one that has so many accounts. People saying they have heard the cries. And I waffle with this. Here's where I waffle. Is this an animal?
It could be.
This cemetery is surrounded by forest.
Okay.
Is this an animal? Mm-hmm. Is that what they're hearing when they come through there? Or is it a child? I don't know. I just think it's interesting because, like, I don't know why.
Yeah.
You know?
Is there any animal that sounds like that, though? Because I feel like that's a pretty distinct sound.
It's pretty distinct, especially when they say it's, like, very upset baby.
Yeah. Like,
know?
I feel like that's a pretty... Especially when you're a woman, I feel like it's just, like, in you to, like, respond to that sound.
I think
so
a bobcat can sound somewhat like a baby crying.
Okay.
I think I might need to research that and we can cover it. Like when you do yours, I can just pop in and say, but I think a bobcat actually might sound like a baby crying.
Interesting. Okay.
So that's where I waffled because if it was like, if they saw a ghostly baby, if they saw, like, I would be like, okay, but like, they only heard it. But it's something that has been.
And it's always like in the distance.
Always.
Somewhere. So that could be
an
animal.
Like they said it travels.
Oh, well, there you go.
Bobcat to me. Yeah. And I know they have bobcats there. Well, I don't want to say bobcat, but that's the one I think sounds like a baby crying. But back to Greenwood, because I've had my own experiences there. I talked about the man disappearing. We also, that's the place where the deer followed us through the whole entire place. Liz was just beside herself. Like she was just, and they literally followed us and then would stand back and just stand there and stare at us. And then we kind of go further and we think, and then all of a sudden they're right there. And we just not running there, just like, it was weird.
Do you think it was some sort of like trying to let you know something? Or do you think it was like something negative? Like, did you get a negative vibe? I know, like, obviously it's like
Liz got a negative vibe.
She's scared of them. So, I mean,
I didn't. I just thought it was interesting how they're very much like, when they I mean, because, you know, deer have like really intelligent eyes. But when they were watching us, it was just like very much like, you know.
They know more than what you think they should know.
Yeah. Mm. Also, there was this, they have actual mausoleums there. Kind of like in New Orleans where they're above ground and everything. And they're for the families, these prominent families. But there's one that has like a literal bullet hole that comes out from inside. Yeah, and it's locked. Just one. And I went to go look on the other side because I was like, well, maybe because they have like a window pane and then a window pane that looks in. Nothing. It's just coming through, but there's nothing on the other side that has. Why would they have that one there but change the other glass? It doesn't make sense to me. But I do believe that one has a story. I just could not find it. But that one gave me really weird vibes. Like,
and it's been like proven that it's definitely from the inside out. Like the way that. Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah. And I'm like, it doesn't make any sense to me at all.
Yeah, and it wouldn't make sense if they, like you were saying, would fix one side and not
just leave
the other
side that way.
I mean, unless it was really expensive.
The other thing that was weird is that, like, it was just the bullet hole and it wasn't, like, cracked. I thought that was interesting, too. It gave me a really weird vibe, so that one did. Like, I was just like,
I feel like I don't know enough on the gun.
I don't
like
either,
how
so I
it would,
can't speak
like
to
if it would make sense that it wouldn't crack or not. Like maybe because of how much power it is, it wouldn't. But I don't know.
I'm gonna have to ask because I need to know like what would cause it to go through, but not crack the glass. I mean, it's got the bullet hole. You can see where it's like exiting. You can see the path, like, but it didn't crack the glass.
Interesting. Yeah, that is.
It's very bizarre. I was like, this is really weird.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, that's weird.
But it is very eerie there. Like the local children, like teenagers, their favorite thing is to break in at night and to go through the cemetery. Liz did it herself with her friends. Like, but everyone's had a lot of different experiences there. I've had my own experience there, you know? I mean, there's just so many accounts. When I was like going on to Reddit and everything else, I'm like, because you know I love to put in personal accounts, but I'm like, holy shit. Like
there's so much.
This is going to just be me talking about accounts the whole entire
this
time.
This person had this and this person had that.
And it's all like very similar. Yeah. Like the Greenwood Bride, so many people. And I, again, always like try to debunk things. Yeah. I'm like, yeah, okay, she's a legend. So maybe they're like thinking they think they
saw her or they go expecting to see her. And we'll just see the slightest thing and be like, oh, it's her.
Oh my God, it's her. Yeah, exactly. But the soldier thing, I mean, like I fully believe because there are so many weird actual footage like in the Battle of Gettysburg, like that area of soldiers walking through trees and a video camera Like, come on, people. You can't debunk that shit. And this video has not been debunked, but people are like, oh, you're right. I'm like, this is from the 90s.
Dude.
It is literally a video camera from the 90s. And you can see where soldiers are passing through fucking trees.
It's like, they're always like, oh, just get video evidence. Why don't you have it? Then you have the video
That's not real.
evidence. That's, no, that's just a light.
I was watching, when I was young, a show, and it had footage of a literal ghost soldier. I remember it to this day. Mm-hmm. And he's walking across the train tracks and he like just disappears. And I'm like, y'all, like, and you're like, we don't have no evidence. I'm like, this is literally when I was young. This is from the 90s again. Like, come on, y'all. Like, I'm sure they're probably sick of it. They're like, you know what? I'm not going to pop up on your cameras anymore.
Yeah, they're like,
you guys are stupid.
You don't believe me? Too bad.
Yeah.
I'm not going to prove it for you.
And that's what's difficult. Like, no matter how much you prove it, like, you're just going to tell you it's no.
Always.
So it's like,
yeah.
I don't care. Like,
yeah.
I always tell people that I'm like, believe, don't believe. Like,
yeah.
That's on you. They're there no matter what.
Right.
So.
I don't care if you care or if you believe it or not. It doesn't affect me.
They're not leaving anyway.
No.
So, like, you believe what you got to believe. Yeah. Whatever makes you feel better, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the other thing that I wanted to cover before we, end, okay. So before I go into this, mm-hmm. I have one more thing I want to talk about, and it's another experience I had there. So as I said, I was working for an insurance company, mm-hmm. and I was surveying houses. There is a mansion called the Powers Mansion. It is very weird vibes there. Now, this Powers Mansion is like one of the prominent families that were in Decatur. It is very well known to be haunted. Mm-hmm. I think it's supposed to be haunted by the family. It has been sold. Then it became apartments. But during the time that I was surveying, someone owned it. I had to survey the house next to it. I go in there. This woman is so scared of that house next to her. So scared. I tell her, I need to go in your basement because I have to take a picture of your water heater, because a lot of these really old houses don't have up to date what, insurances will drop them. I was like, I have to get a picture of your water heater, your electrical, making sure you don't have the old electrical, stuff like that. Right. She goes, you can go down there. I'm not going down there. And I'm like, well, fucking great, because this is my job and I'm going to have to go down there. I shit you not. I opened it to go downstairs and she has fucking dried sage on her ceiling going all the way down to the basement. And I'm like, mm-hmm. And then I'm like, can you turn the light on? The light doesn't work. Oh. I'm like, great. So I have my phone and I got the flashlight on. I'm trying to go down. I'm like down there. It feels so evil. Like, I can't even tell you. I was like,
get me
what
out
the hell?
Here.
So I was like, snap, snap, snap. And then something like moved in the corner. I took off running. Sage got all stuck in my hair as I was going back upstairs. Like, it was like, I was like, running up the stairs.
Freaking God.
Yeah, that woman was, and then when I got up there, she like shut the door, locked it. Like, she was so frightened.
I don't blame her.
And she kept all her curtains closed facing
on that
house.
Side.
Yeah.
Wow, dude.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
She wouldn't even hardly talk about it. She was so frightened. And I always think about that. And I'm like, I would love to know what she's seen. But she didn't want to talk about it.
I don't
She
blame
didn't want
her.
to go downstairs. Didn't want to talk about it. Kept the windows closed. Like, just.
Jeez.
Yeah.
First of all, that's crazy. But also the fact that you did that job. You're just going into random people's houses. Dude, that has to be so terrifying.
There was times that I would text Liz and I'm like, if I don't contact you, I'm probably going to die. Because there was people that were just like really scary.
Well, because they're also not happy at what you're doing either. Like, they're mad that you're like, you could potentially raise their insurance, So they're not happy that you're
And I was told to go just get the outside done if they're not home. So I'm on this property.
Oh,
yeah.
Hell no.
Yeah.
I don't know what their laws are, but you don't do that in Florida because you'll end up dead.
Yeah. Well,
oh my God.
I went to one area and literally the area had signs everywhere saying this area is being surveyed by police. And across the street was a crack house. And I was like, holy fucking shit. I am just a woman. Like, that's like, I am just a woman. I'm a little girl I can't feel do this.
I would be a little more at ease about it being surveyed by police and not.
I
know.
Obviously not enough. There was a big old crack house across the street.
Jesus Christ.
It was really scary. And yeah, people were real angry because they knew.
I'm sure.
Like, I had to report if they had different types of dogs there. Like, it was like a whole thing. Yeah, no, I quit that. I was like, I can't.
Like, I can't do this. Like, I'm so sorry. I don't want to do this. Hide the dog from me.
Actually, there's times if the dog was, even though it was like the wrong breed, I would be like, can you move your dog out of the pictures, please? And they're like, why? I'm like, just
trust me.
Just trust me. Because I know that it's a nice dog, but it was the wrong breed. And I knew it was going to cost them their insurance. So I'd be like, can you move it out?
Like, I'm trying to help you here.
Yeah. Yeah.
I never saw this dog. Okay.
So I wanted to talk about really quickly the other thing that is all over Decatur. Mm-hmm. Everyone thinks that it is very steeped with witchcraft and the occult.
Okay.
So while Decatur never had the infamous witch trials seen in places like Salem, its early history during the 19th century included deep suspicions towards people practicing forms of folk healing or divination.
Okay.
As settlers moved into the Midwest, some brought with them their European traditions of witchcraft, herbal medicine, and magic. These practices, often misunderstood, were sometimes met with fear and accusations, particularly during the times of hardships such as like crop failures or illness outbreaks. In rural areas near Decatur, people who practiced these folk traditions, often referred to as cunning folk, were regarded with suspicion. They used herbal remedies, divination, and protective charms, but when misfortune struck, they were occasionally blamed as witches and then killed.
Oh, of course. Wow.
So this folklore also has fed into the emerging tales of witchcraft, but to me it sounds a lot more like the occult. And I also want to mention in Greenwood Cemetery, it was very cool there was crystals put on graves.
Oh.
Like
very cool.
Yeah, like rocks, crystals just stacked up. Thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
So, the Witch of Greenwood Cemetery. One of Decatur's most enduring legends is that the Witch of Greenwood Cemetery. Greenwood, we already talked about it. We already know it's an old cemetery in Decatur. But this particular legend stands out. So, according to local folklore, a woman was believed to practice witchcraft near the cemetery. After her death, it was said she performed rituals and summoned spirits in the cemetery at night. Mm-hmm. Locals began to report strange occurrences, such as the sighting of her ghostly figure dressed in dark robes, especially near the infamous Devil's Chair. A stone bench, we already talked about it, a stone chair, it's not a bench, where people would, get cursed and all that good stuff. The Witch of Greenwood story is a blend of traditional witchcraft fears and then Decatur's specific ghost lore. Some claim that her spirit still haunts the cemetery, and paranormal investigations have reported hearing disembodied voices, feeling cold spots, and witnessing strange apparitions during the explorations of the grounds. I think that's just a story. I don't think there's a witch of Greenwood Cemetery, but I do want to talk about Hell's Hollow.
Ooh.
And the occult rituals. So in the early 20th century, an area near Decatur known as Hell Hollow is right by Greenwood Cemetery, became infamous for reports of occult activity. Hell's Hollow, located close to the Wabash train station, was a secluded and overgrown area. I'm done. Hold on. What the fuck? Okay. Maybe he doesn't want me to talk about it.
Oh.
Locals avoided due to its dark history. It was a site of multiple deaths, including train accidents and crimes of violence. Over time, rumors spread that occult groups used the areas for rituals, summoning spirits, and casting curses. So they did. There is literal reports, and to this day, it is still used as a place for occults, not witchcraft people.
Right.
For other things. Mm-hmm. So visitors to Hell Hollow have reported strange symbols carved in trees, sightings of mysterious figures, and hearing unsettling sounds. The area became infamous for occult gatherings where it was rumored that witches and other occult practitioners performed rituals under the cover of the night. These activities led to Hell Hollow's reputation as one of the most cursed and haunted spots in Decatur. So I symbols, all that, I don't see that they're doing anything wrong. But I do know that in Hell's Hollow is one of the main places where a family during that cold winter, their people perished and they ate them.
Oh, okay. So there's a history there.
There's a history there. Yeah. And I firmly believe that there is a Native American burial ground in Hell's Hollow. I believe there's a reason why the occult witches are drawn to that area to perform their rituals. I do not believe rituals are evil. Anything that they put here does not tell me they were killing animals. They were just putting symbols and doing their rituals, you know?
Right.
But the fact that that is a spot where that happened and, you know, that will leave a mark on the ground. And I do believe that it is Indian burial ground in Hell's Hollow.
Yep.
So
it would make sense to me.
Yeah. So in the late 1800s and early 1900s, the rise of spiritualism, a movement centered on communicating with the dead, found fertile ground in Decatur. Spiritualism was often linked to witchcraft and occult practices in the public's mind. Seances, Ouija boards, and divination sessions became common, especially among the city's elite, who sought to communicate with lost loved ones or gain knowledge from beyond. Millikin University, which is a very haunted university there, a private liberal arts college in Decatur, became a hub for spiritualist activity. They taught it.
Oh.
Yes.
That's cool.
Yes. Thought that was so interesting.
What is it? What university is it?
Millikin.
Millikin?
Yeah. Reports of seances and occult gatherings on campus, particularly in Albert Taylor Theater, were widespread. In many cases, students and faculty claimed to have contacted spirits during these sessions, sparking fears of witchcraft and paranormal happenings on campus. And these stories have added to the reputation of the supernatural. But I did read that they actually they had classes on seances, divination,
that's
all
nuts.
of that.
That is so cool.
I know.
Like that's
I thought
really
that
cool.
was so freaking cool. I was like, go Millikin. And now that place feels very haunted, but does not feel scary to me at all. Nope.
Okay.
Not at all. Today, Decatur's reputation for witchcraft and the occult is kept alive by local historians and ghost hunters. They have this Haunted Decatur tour founded by paranormal expert Troy Taylor. Explores many of these area locations, including Greenwood Cemetery, Hell's Hollow, and Millikin University. The tour delves into the dark history of the city, recounting tales of curses, witchcraft, and hauntings, and attracting paranormal enthusiasts from all over the country. So Greenwood Cemetery remains a major attention with ghost hunters, often reporting strange phenomena again, associated with the Witch of the Greenwood or the Devil's Chair. Decatur has become a focal point for those interested in the occult, which, with its history of spiritualism, witchcraft, and accusations, and dark folklore serving as a backdrop for modern explorations into the paranormal. In conclusion, while Decatur may not have been the site of notorious witch trials, its long-standing association with the occult, folk magic, spiritualism, and dark folklore has made it a city deeply embedded in mystical and supernatural history of Illinois. Today, these stories continue to fascinate both locals and visitors alike.
Very cool.
Go on that tour.
Yeah.
And also read his books.
Okay.
Troy Taylor. Amazing.
I was just going to say, that kind of sounds like, of course, Salem sounds amazing too. I feel like that sounds a little more like if you want a more like spooky, like authentic experience. I feel like that probably is the better place.
This isn't commercialized.
Yeah.
Decatur, I've been there. It's not commercialized. Yeah. I think their ghost tour I haven't got to go on their ghost tour, but when I saw that it was created by Troy Taylor, because his stories, he's also where I got some of the information on Ghost Panthers. He's still like, his books are really, really cool.
That's awesome.
And I think it's a place that I think most anybody can walk into. And even if you're not like connected or have that, I think you'll
have something, some kind of experience.
100% think you will feel
and
something.
It's not like, I'm sure there's a lot, because there's obviously like a lot of like history in Salem, you know, like,
oh my God,
saying that things didn't happen,
but they didn't kill witches, they killed people.
Yeah.
Normal ass people.
Exactly. But I feel like it's a little more like fluffed up. Like, ooh, look at us.
Oh, they definitely
we have
commercialized
witches.
it. Yeah, they definitely. And I mean, I do think it's cool though that now Salem
Yes.
is the hub where witches go and move into. Thought that was pretty
I think
cool.
that's cool. I think
But-
I still want to see Salem, but I feel like
I loved
Decatur has piqued my interest.
Decatur is very interesting. And
I
I would love to go on a ghost tour. You just have to be careful and not get shot.
Don't get shot?
Yeah, don't get shot.
Oh, why?
I don't know. There's parts that you can get shot at. But you just have to. Well, if you have Liz with you, she'll be able to tell you real easily.
Okay.
So, oh my God, your nails are so cute. Why did I just see them?
Thank you.
Oh, they're so
Aren't
cute.
they so cool?
Oh my God. They're all like,
They're supposed to look like velvet.
they
kind
look
of.
like it.
They're like holographic.
They are
velvety.
holographic.
They're like purple but green.
They're so cute.
Yes, I love them. I'm happy with them.
Those are cool. Okay.
Sorry.
But yeah, so. Yeah.
I mean, I would definitely want Liz to tell me where not to go because I'm not trying to get shot. But also kind of used to that. I live in Florida. I grew up in Florida.
Yeah.
Okay. So
I mean, I literally surveyed that by myself. Okay. Like I was in areas that obviously I could have got shot.
sometimes I think also being a woman, you can play off being stupid. You know, if you're in an area like, oh, I had no idea.
Bye.
I'm going to go now. Bye. You didn't see me. I'm just a spirit.
I would love to go to Decatur with you because, like, I'm telling you, there's lots of places where I'll hear like, oh, witchcraft, a call, and I'm like, that place, 100% steeped in it. Like, it is
cool.
so steeped in it, and the fact that Millikin taught spiritualism.
That's really cool. Is that like the only university that's ever done that?
I don't know. It's this one that I read. And
That's
I was
kind
like,
of
that was
interesting. That's really cool. I
Divination
wish more would
and
do that.
seances, like.
It's like when you think about it, we listen, or no, not listen, but like when I was in college, I had a whole course on religions and different cultures. And it's like, why are we taught that? But like, why can't we make this more like, because it's still a thing. Like, it's a thing people do and have done for like centuries.
Absolutely.
Why don't we have a class on that?
No, I'm serious.
But maybe there are, and I just don't know. But not anywhere near me.
There's not in the school. You guys let us know.
Yeah.
If you know of classes where they teach you divination and like fucking Harry Potter, let us know. No, like reading tea leaves.
That'd be so cool. Honestly, that'd be so cool.
It would be so cool. Like I think that's because that
like
is a practice.
It is.
That's not even just a practice in witchcraft. That's a practice in other cultures. Like
right.
A lot of different other cultures, like in Scotland and Ireland, they read tea leaves. That is what they do. Like, I think that'd be really cool.
I think they should do that.
Stop stopping us from learning. No,
right. Agreed. I think that should. What's the word? I don't know. I can't think of it. My brain just went. I'm ready for tortellinis.
I want some tortellinis.
I'm so hungry.
And my meanies. No,
and your meanies.
I was trying to think of a word for my mouth. But I was like, it's got to be like
tortellinis and my meanies.
And my meanies.
And my mouthies.
And my mouthies.
Oh, I hate that.
No, I don't want to say. I like meanies better.
Yeah.
Sometimes my mouth is mean.
Okay.
So I guess that fits. Sometimes I can be kind of mean.
Sagittarius.
Yeah, exactly.
Sagittarius here. I love how I refer to you as the Sagittarius. And I'm like, I am a Sagittarius, but I don't feel like a Sagittarius. I am definitely more Gemini.
You are so more Gemini.
So much more Gemini.
But like so much of my chart is Sagittarius.
Oh my God, yeah. Yeah, you got your moon in Sag, so
and
you are the Sagittarius.
I am the Sagittarius.
All right,
guys. That was Decatur. Go visit it. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but go visit it. Please read Troy Taylor's books. If you're there, go on the ghost tour. Let us know what you think. It's a really fascinating, interesting place. So.
Sounds cool.
And actually, the Greenwood Cemetery is freaking beautiful.
I'm
creepy,
sure.
spooky, but beautiful.
Dude, if it's surrounded by forests, that's cool.
And mausoleums.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's so cool.
It has crystals.
Yeah, it did.
That's cool.
It was cool.
I love it.
It's cool.
Cool. Okay. Thank you for listening. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And we will see you in the next one.
Bye,
Bye.
everybody.